And welcome to another episode of Ghosts and Rings. I am your host, Walt Stringer, of course, and once again, I'm joined tonight by Know That Sports and Big Block Sports. What's going on tonight, fellas?
Know that. What's going on, Phil? Dude?
Hey, we in the building. We in the building. We got a lot to talk about. A lot of sports, a lot of football. It's been a great season. I don't know how y'all feel about it, but I feel like it's been one of the most exciting seasons we had in a minute. Maybe it's just because last year was like, but it's been an exciting season.
It's shaking now. Believe that. It's shaking.
Yeah, I mean,
you got Kansas City. You got Kansas City last in their division. You know it's shaking. You know it's shaking. Believe that.
Yeah, I tell people, man, the NFL season is like a novel, man. And I love the fact that people don't understand they added one more game. It may not seem like much. That one more game matters because it's for if you don't climb your way to the top of that mountain and plant that flag as the number one seed in your respective conference, you got to play three teams.
You got
to play three teams. Everybody got to play three teams except for two teams.
Yep.
So I think getting that number two seed is crucial this year, man. It's crucial.
Gotta know it.
Absolutely, absolutely. So, man, I wanted, first of all, let's go back to Sunday. Sunday night, Packers 49ers. We remember what happened. What happened to those 49ers is similar to what happened to my Detroit Lions within the last 2 minutes of the game. For us, it was the last 142 of the game.
That was crazy.
Block, I'm going to start with you, man. And your feelings about that game from quarter one to quarter four. All three of us watched that game. What's your opinions of what happened?
I didn't see anything surprising. I mean, I think Aaron Rodgers, we knew who he was. We knew who Devontae Adams was. We knew we were down to like third string corners. Then we lost two corners. We was down to like the fifth corner. We was down running back. So I didn't have high expectations going into the game. I think it was way different than what happened to Detroit. I think what Aaron Rodgers did. I mean, that's almost like Tom Brady at the end of the game, right? That's almost like Russell Wilson. That happens in the NFL. Those players are gonna make those plays. I'm not upset about the game. It's early in the season. We still 2-1. I think we see the Packers again, and it's gonna be smoke in the city.
Know that.
I'm not concerned. My concern level is 0. Is this much?
You sure about that, man?
100%. I think people. I mean, I don't know what people want, but I think we're too good of a team overall for us to worry about a loss in the way that we lost. Right? I think again, 37 seconds. How many times is that going to happen? I don't think Aaron Rodgers is gonna come through that door for the next 10, 12 games we got, right? So it took Aaron Rodgers all the way to the end of the game, to the very last end of the game to beat us on our fourth, fifth string corner. Why would I not expect better out of the team given all that they accomplished during that game?
Know that, but you know.
First of all, the Detroit game and the San Francisco game, the difference I say in that is they really cheated Detroit. Cause it was a delay of game that they didn't call, and that would have been a big call. They probably would have got Detroit to win, but that's after spades. When it comes to the 49ers Packers though, the 49ers let one get away. Straight up and down. They let one get away. Even though the Packers jumped on it early, they booked it back.
Yep.
And 37 seconds, I put that shit on the defense. You cannot let the two plays that they did. Come on, man. That's what you doing the video game. So you don't let Devontae Adams beat you. So I put that on the defense. The panic level about the 49ers right now, I'm gonna say, because I talked about the 49ers real high before the season started. I still say they Super Bowl contenders. But I had that at a 10, now it's at a 7. And the reason why I said it because the running backs and that secondary. The secondary is the corners or whatever.
Yep.
They got to get that shit fixed, man. They got to get that shit fixed. And like you said, Aaron Rodgers ain't going to come through the door. You're right. He ain't come back through the door in about 10 more weeks, 12 more weeks. But Russell Wilson coming through there. Dak Prescott coming through there.
Stafford coming through there.
Prescott.
So all you gotta do
Kyler coming through there.
Yeah, so that ain't like that Prescott ain't playing good ball. Ain't like he ain't playing good ball.
Man. Hey,
There's
man.
a lot of folk coming through there. I'm saying Kyler Murray coming through there.
Ain't none of them Aaron Rodgers though.
I feel you, but they still
nice.
They damn good. And if you fucking with your fourth and fifth corners out there, boy, you make the nigga that damn good look great. That's what I mean by that. So they got to get that fit. They said Tampa Bay looking at Richard Sherman. They next bullshitting around. You need to go get him. You got to go get him. Josh Norman still in the doctor office. You know what I'm saying? What Jason, your star corner, I think he got for the deal.
Yeah,
Barrett.
You know what I'm saying? So they thin in the secondary, man. They got to get that fit. If not, it don't come at them. They're gonna come at the bite. They're gonna come at the bite them.
I agree.
Well, I mean, they probably should have went corner in the draft when they finally
drafted 2 quarters.
Good corners. I'm saying good ones though. Draft good ones. That's what I'm saying. Hey, listen, man. Listen. Well, I actually wanted Paulson Adebo for y'all actually in the second round. But hey, listen, I'm gonna say this. All that game showed to me was how much the tiny big things matter in football.
Yes.
Because, like, if you look at that game, all right, so you guys had more first downs. You were better on third down. You ran more plays. You had fewer penalties. But the whole thing was that you only averaged 4.5 yards a play on offense. Jimmy missed some throws. He threw the ball entirely too much, honestly, and that was because you guys couldn't run the football. Yep. So as a result of it, it seemed like Jimmy was constantly playing from behind, trying to outgun Aaron. But while Aaron is doing 15 yards to 20 yards downfield, you got a whole lot of you got Jimmy, everything is underneath, and you got let me ask you this. Do you think it's time for Trey Lance to get more and more snaps? And are you guys better offensively and more dynamic with him out there?
I can't say that because I don't know that dude like that. Like everything I know from that dude was at North Dakota State. I think the advantage we have now is that teams have to prepare for 2 quarterbacks. Teams have to prepare for 2 different types of offenses. And the main point of our offense is that everything kind of looks the same, right? The run play, the play action, the slant, the RPO.
I'm gonna say, honestly, man, I'm gonna say this. I love watching y'all offensively, man. Like it's similar to watching like a college offense, kind of like Shanahan may not have the big plays, the big splash plays downfield, the 6'3" wide receiver that runs 4.3 and this and that, but that man schemes up ways to get in the end zone. Like he's a true coach. Like he's a true offensive coach, and I love watching San Francisco offense.
And I think it's a complex system, right? And I think we got a lot of players last season that didn't play together, right? Sometimes we had Ayuk, sometimes we had Debo, sometimes we had Kittle. We didn't even know who was at running back last year. So you know what I'm saying? Like Jimmy was out, in and out. We had 2 other quarterbacks last season, so you got to think about continuity from our offense. This is probably the first 3 games that these star players since the Super Bowl season have really played together at a high level. And I just think the offense is going to click. I think the scheme is there. I think the injuries at running back, I think the offensive line still coming together slow is what's causing the offense to start so slow. But you can see the second half of every game, we can score points. We still at the top of the league for scoring points. Again, we scored 27 on Sunday. That's a lot of points. I think there's a great opportunity for us to continue to build on our success.
Well, yeah, I mean, so are there any teams in the NFC that you look at and you say, okay, come playoff time, that type of team may be our type of downfall? Our possible downfall?
Well, I think the Rams offensively, I think Matthew Stafford is slinging the hell out of that ball.
He doesn't play well against you guys, though. Historically, he hasn't played well against you guys.
I think what you see is it's a lot with a rookie. You know, sometimes with a rookie quarterback end up with a certain team, it clicks for him. Like it's not a big transition. So I think the transition for Stafford, wanting to throw the ball deep, clicks with what Sean McVay wants to do in the play action run game. And I think they took advantage of a lot of that. Now, as teams get more tape on them, do they pick up on some of those Stafford tendencies to be that gunslinger, to throw the ball into traffic? It could happen. Because again, they lost a lot of their running backs too, so they in a similar boat. But I think the Rams still have a great defense. I look at a team like I just look at the teams in our division, honestly. I think the Cardinals have a good chance. I think Kyler Murray is dynamic. I think they fast on offense, both at running back and at receiver and at tight end. I think defensively they got some weapons. I think Budda Baker is probably one of the best safeties in the league right now. And
been that way for a few years.
Yeah, and Chandler Jones, hey, he's good for a couple sacks here and there. He started off really hot. He had 0 sacks the next game, but he's always a force to be reckoned with. So I think, honestly, the team that win the NFC West is the team that is going to represent the NFC in the Super Bowl.
Got you. So while we with that, I want to transition over to 2 young men that are very dear to me, man. Anybody that knows me, man, I hate seeing promising young quarterbacks go to awful organizations. I hate it more. Well, I hate it more in basketball, I think, because I think in the NBA, it's so easy for a young player, a young 19-year-old to get lost in the sauce in the NBA, man. You can end up on the wrong team under the wrong head coach on an NBA team. You can get buried in a roster. You can get sent down to the D League, and you may not see the light of day for another year and a half. But the NFL, man, it's the situation some of these quarterbacks end up in. I want to go over here. I want to start with Trevor Lawrence. Now, I've sat back and I've watched all 3 games Jacksonville has played. You guys, I'm pretty sure, have too. What are your initial thoughts on Trevor Lawrence and his productivity and how is he progressing?
Well, I see Trevor Lawrence look better than Zach Wilson to me right now. I'm saying right, and the reason why I say that because Trevor Lawrence and his coach, they really doing this hand to hand, on hand. You know what I'm saying? And like I don't even know what Jacksonville identity is. Like what they really like to do. Because they gonna come out and try to smash mouth you. If we're gonna add out. When it come to Zach Wilson, I know they want to really just add out with him. They want to throw the ball. They ain't even running the ball like that. But Trevor Lawrence, I believe he looking better than Zach to me. I believe his future brighter than Zach to me right now. What I see, both of them struggling, both of them ain't won a game. I think their team a little bit better than they are right now. You know what I'm saying? Even but the Jets got some injury too. But I think Jets are going in the right direction. I think they're going in the right direction.
I like Trevor Lawrence more than Zach Wilson, but I think they lose it for 2 different reasons. I think, like Noda just said, right? I think Trevor Lawrence is in a better situation, a better organization. I think they have more of a plan for what they're trying to do. You can see offensively, they got a lot of players that can create after the catch. Laviska Shenault out of the slot. I know him specifically because he's on my fantasy team and he going off. Marvin Jones is a great wide receiver. I think he's a lot better than people give him credit for. I think Robinson in the backfield for Jacksonville is a good running back as well. I think scheme-wise, the Jets, I'm not quite sure they have the personnel to run that offense, right? The offense they trying to run is the offense that McDaniel brought over from San Francisco. That's who they hired. They hired our defensive coordinator, and the defensive coordinator brought our offensive coordinator with him. So they're trying to run all the motions, all the different formations.
They
don't have the personnel. They don't have a running back that's going to threaten that outside zone run. They don't have a tight end that's going to push the middle of the field that keep the linebackers at bay and the safeties at bay. They don't really even have a wide receiver. I know him and Corey Davis have this great rapport, but Corey Davis is a third string dude on any other team. You know what I'm saying? Maybe even fourth string. You know what I'm saying? Like on a team like the Chiefs, he might not even see the field. He won't even dress.
Yeah.
You know?
Corey is very inconsistent. I think what bothers me about Trevor Lawrence with Jacksonville is that to me it seems like they don't have a plan.
Mm-hmm.
And that seems to be what it is. It seems like, and I'm gonna get into the offense because this is a team right now with a rookie quarterback that is 11th in they're 11th in rushing attempt. No, they're 11th in passing attempts and they're 29th in rushing attempts.
Oh, that showed me they want to throw the ball.
But James Robinson is averaging 5.5 yards a carry. Now, this is nothing like Darrell Bevel's offense at all. Whether it's Seattle, Minnesota, or even when he was in Detroit. He struggled running the ball here in Detroit. But the difference is he still schemed up creative ways to attempt to run the football. To me, this reeks of Urban Meyer all over this offense. You look at the fact that Trevor he's only completing 54% of his passes. He got 5 touchdowns and 7 interceptions. He's averaging over 40 attempts per game. That's ridiculous. That's unnecessarily too much, man.
But them same 40 attempts a game, could they lose it?
That's exactly why. That's why Robinson averaging 5 yards a carry, because everybody in prevent. He run into prevent defense.
Look at that Houston game week 1. We talked about week 1 after week 1 about the Buffalo Bills and averaging high yards per carry in a closely contested game, but just choosing to keep chucking the ball. And it seems to me like they honestly don't really have a plan. It's like, okay, you know what? We just filling this out. This is year 1. Let Trevor throw his right arm off.
I can agree with you on that. They don't know what they want to do. They ain't got no identity. I call it they have no identity. So I can agree with you on that.
I think some of that too is the pressure of the number 1 pick. It's a new coaching staff. They trying to get buy-in from the media, from the masses. They not gonna have Trevor Lawrence hand the ball off 30 times out there and lose. At least the fans and the media get to see him out there throwing the ball around. They trying to build hype in the city. They used to losing. They not used to losing with somebody as a star player, I guess you can say, as a number 1 pick. So it's exciting for them. That's why they having him throw so much. They don't really care about losing. It's Jacksonville. Let me tell you, if you never been to Jacksonville, it's a reason why they lose like that.
I've heard.
I've been to Jacksonville. There's not much there but the Jaguars. There's like some really nice parks. There's some really nice beaches. But other than that, it's just the Jaguars.
Maybe that's why they haven't won much, I guess. But, listen, I think it's, for me, another issue was the Travis Etienne pick. You know, I thought James Robinson, he didn't get the respect he deserved because he wasn't a first-round pick. If Robinson would have been a first-round pick last year and would have had the rookie season he had, they would have not taken Travis. Well, let me rephrase that. Urban Meyer may have still came in with that I'm the new sheriff in town. I want who I want and I want them now mentality. But I think they would have been less inclined to take him if James Robinson would have been a more heralded player. Because I thought James Robinson as a rookie did enough. I thought he did enough last year.
He would have number 1 offense. He was
the offense.
Yeah. And I thought that with that pick, I thought they could have either went safety with Trayvon Moehrig, or they could have went Gregory Rousseau at that pick and added another playmaker within that front 7. I thought doubling down on running back was kind of negligent, but
they did that just because what you just said. You know, Urban Meyer.
But that was Trevor Lawrence boy too. Sort of like how with Joe Burrow boy with Jamar Chase.
So you know that's Urban Meyer move. You know that.
Yeah. But I think as far as Zach Wilson, man, he didn't call a bad hand, man. You know, you look at all the issues the Jets have. The Jets been pretty solid defensively, though, quiet as kept. But offensively, they look terrible. And this is what I think you could expect from a defensive-minded head coach. We expected that defense to look decent. We expected the defense to be ahead of the offense, but that defense is way ahead of that offense. And you look at Zach Wilson's first 3 weeks of the season, he's been at he played Carolina, Denver, New England. So he played the number 1, the number 2, and the number 5 defenses in all of football his first 3 weeks of the season. So, like I said, the defense has been on point, but you look at the rest of the damn schedule, man, it don't get no easier. He got, week 5 at Atlanta? That may be a break.
They're the one.
That may be a break week 5 at Atlanta.
Now, that ain't in Atlanta. That's in London.
Oh, complete break then. Neutral field.
Neutral field.
Neutral field. Boy, that the one. Boy, you know that the one. Boy, that the one.
Boy, then you then. Yeah, week 12 at Houston. That could be a break. And then they got a matchup with Jacksonville, I think, week 16, I think. So that's going to be a hell of a game. Him against Trevor.
They're fighting for the number 1 pick.
I was just going to say that.
You already know they're fighting for the number 1 pick. But
they fight.
Yeah, the Atlanta game will be the one, though. I say that now. The Atlanta game will be the one.
Yeah.
I think all the rookie QBs are having a hard time. And that's also, like we were talking about Trey Lance earlier. You know what I'm saying? I think we are one of the few teams that have the opportunity to ease him in, to not call, because you don't know how some of these players, we've seen too many times where quarterbacks get shell shocked, right? David Carr, Jamarcus Russell was a whole another story, but there's been tons of rookie quarterbacks that came in with all the promise to a BS team. They get shell shocked and they've never been the same.
Well, that's how Zach Wilson kind of looks right now. Like, Zach's been sacked 15 times already.
Yeah. And we don't know which one of these dudes is going to be. You know, it could be Fields. It could be Trevor. Somebody going to end up.
I may be kind of biased because I've been watching Trevor, and I think we all been watching Trevor since about the last 6-7 years of his life, probably, at least.
Yeah.
Going back to high school and the elite level, whatever. I think Trevor is more mentally built for this. That's why I felt Trevor could have survived in New York quicker than Zach Wilson could have. And I just don't trust that organization, man. Like, you taking a losing quarterback, not to call Zach Wilson a loser, but he came from a school, a college that's not known for their pro quarterbacks. They're not known for winning, period. You snatch him out of Brigham Young, and then you throw him in the middle of New York where that media there is like,
they're going to attack him. They finna attack him.
Yes. He's not gonna get too much. He's not gonna get too many opportunities to lose. He gets a free pass this year. Next year, regardless of whether it's his fault or not, that media, that fan base will turn on him.
But they gonna say his fault. All the rip his fault.
Yeah, and it's the same because you see when Zach Wilson has some time, or even when he gets the opportunity to improvise, you see the talent. From a physical talent standpoint, he's better than Sam Darnold. I can see why they wanted him over Sam Darnold. But like I said before, you can make the argument that if you snatch Darnold out of Carolina and you threw Zach Wilson over on Carolina with that football team, they could possibly be better with him over Sam Darnold.
I think they'll be virtually like the same.
Yeah, well, I mean, given the fact that he is still a rookie, but I think Carolina will have a way higher ceiling with Zach Wilson.
Yeah. Hell yeah.
So
like you said, the organization down there, if he fucked up from the top, you know what's going on from that point on.
Exactly. So
that's what their problem is.
Let's touch on another organization that's been fucked up from the top for a minute. So we're going to go to my Detroit Lions. We're going to go to Dan Campbell's new breed Detroit Lions. You guys seen all 3 games this season. Y'all watch everything just like I watch everything. What do you guys think about Dan Campbell and his Detroit Lions?
Man, I like Dan Campbell, man. I think if there was a way that he could win Coach of the Year, I think he could do it. Now, I don't think they go win that many games for him to even be close. But I think for working with the talent that he has been given, for getting the team to compete at the level that they was at. Think about it. A record-setting field goal had to be made. The officials had to get the Ravens out of there with the dub. They started out strong against the Packers, and we see how even the 49ers had a hard time with the Packers. I think they played us really well, you know what I'm saying, in the very first game. So I think he's definitely changed something about the Lions. I'm not quite sure what it is just yet because they're still losing, but something is different. You know, maybe you being local can maybe put more of a finger on it, unless you say like, nah, he trash. But to me, when I look at it, it's something different about the Lions this season.
Well, I mean, like I talked to me and Know that was talking about it in the pre-show. I think we view football completely differently from how the average football fan views football, and you have to be able to see the forest through the trees. This 0-3 is completely different from a Matt Patricia 0-3. Now, people may not understand what I'm saying. There's a difference between your football team being 0-3 and an entire locker room revolting, pretty much.
Yeah.
You know, guys blowing assignments purposely because they don't care. Guys in contract years saying, screw the coach, screw the scheme, I'm going to do what I want to do. No one liking the head coach, no one talking to the head coach during the game, that you can see that on the sidelines. And you have a team now. You can make the argument that Detroit Lions team under Matt Patricia and Bob Quinn was probably more talented than what this team has right now. Well, there's no probably, they were. Difference is Dan Campbell's out there with a bunch of young kids who believe in what he's saying, and they're playing hard for him. And when you got guys, you have a situation that you're building from the ground up. You want guys from the ground up that's going to run through a wall for you. That means that the next draft class that comes in, they got to follow Levi and Wuzurike. They got to follow Aline McNeil. They got to follow Ifeatu Melifonwu and the Aquara brothers. They have to follow Jared Goff. They have to follow all those guys. So it's about establishing the culture. And I'm thinking right now, it's 0-3. It's an 0-3 I expected, because at the end of the day, we just don't have the talent. Teams that start out strong in games, they start out strong for a reason, because talented teams usually don't start out with their foot on the gas. I think teams that are less talented know they have to try to get a jump on teams that are more talented. And then usually that's why you see the better, more talented, better coach teams pull away on lesser talented teams, I think, in the second half, because they realize, okay, it's halftime. We're in a 14-10 game. Let's put our foots on these throats and let's get the hell out of town. So that's why we can't seem to pull these games out of the end. We don't have enough talent. And then, frankly, Dan Campbell isn't experienced enough. You know, people here are hammering him about, oh, well, he should have did this. He should have went for the kill on that third down play. And I feel like he should have. I'm one of those guys, I get reckless with it. I feel like you should always go for the kill when you have the opportunity to go for the kill. Especially when you're dealing with a team that has a historical kicker. Anything inside 60 yards, you knew Tucker was going to be money, period. That could have been a 67-yard field goal attempt, and I'm sure Tucker would have still made it.
That was a crazy kick.
Yeah, it was rough.
I don't know about the 67. The 67 bad made it now.
Well, yeah, you're right. That 67 might have been short.
But if you call it the delay of game, they don't win that game.
Yeah,
yeah. But when it comes to about they Campbell and the New Orleans, in the Detroit Lions, they done found their coach. They got their coach now. I agree with what you were saying about he doing on hand learning too. I'm saying he doing on hand learning. I'm saying, but I like him with them. I like him with them. He come from New Orleans, though. I think he had something to do with New Orleans last year, I believe. I don't know what he has to do with New Orleans.
He's had a couple stints as an interim coach.
Yeah, but
he's been an understudy basically for Sean Payton.
He was on New Orleans staff last year, though.
Well, I'm gonna tell you this though. Remember,
he played tight end for New Orleans.
Yes.
Remember though, he took over for Joe Philbin. Was it Joe Philbin in Miami?
In Miami, got fired?
Yeah. That team lost down the stretch, but that Dolphin team played hard for him down the stretch.
He got their attention. So I'm saying three, like you said, the 3 games they done played, 49er game. I said they were overmatched. They didn't got the same talent as 49er. You seen it in how they lost, but they fought though. The same way against Green Bay, they jumped up on Green Bay early. I'm saying when they boiled down to it, the talent don't equal up really. I'm saying so Green Bay come off in the second half. The next game against Baltimore, same thing. They fought Baltimore to the teeth. I'm saying, and they talent like they didn't even put out for them folks. That's because they were playing with hard. Because Dan Campbell got them want to run to a wall. So now they going in the right direction. Now just about to get your draft picks and getting folks that want to come there. Because Detroit gonna be okay. They got something going on now. I believe they got something going on now. That's
I think
going on.
I think Sunday's game came down to probably a good 3 different situations within the last 140. And I think the major thing was not giving up a 4th and 19. You know, people killing them saying, well, you know what, you were getting pressure on Lamar, you sacked in the previous 2 plays. Why didn't you rush 4? They did what they were supposed to do.
Yeah.
That's Lamar Jackson. I'm believing I'll take my chances with Lamar picking up 19 yards on 4th and 19 over me not running the cover 4. Problem is they just didn't execute the cover 4. That's all it was.
But that come with the youth that you said. So you don't do nothing. They never learn from that. Like you said about the 0-3. You say every team, everybody, it's 32 teams. When they ball down to it, you know if your team is a contender or not when they ball down to it before the season even starts. So
yeah, you do.
If you know your team really ain't a contender on trying to win a Super Bowl or whatever, now you break it down to we won 5 games last year. Is we better last year than we is now? If we is, that means we making progress. If we not, we in neutral. That means we just wasted a year.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So
simple as that.
That's how I break it down. So that's say like I'm a Cowboy fan. I don't believe we're gonna win a Super Bowl. Well, not we can't. Our team ain't good enough to win a Super Bowl, but I believe we supposed to win the division. If we don't win the division and make the playoff, our year wasn't no better than last year. Wasn't no better.
Yeah. Well, you know what though? I tell people that all the time. In the NFL, man, the worst thing you can be is not a have and not a have not. You just floating right there in the middle.
Yeah, that's some bullshit. That's some bullshit. You ain't making no progress. You ain't making no progress.
It ain't.
You bullshit.
You just constantly treading water.
Yeah,
and you just constantly picking
16th,
10th, 11th.
You have to.
Well,
you got to get sick of that eventually. So then you got to get
purgatory.
When it get like that, that's when you got to go up to the head. In the head, what's going on? Because your general manager and all that shit, they got the president. They supposed to be pissed off by that. They supposed to do the same thing we saying. But we just won 5 games last year. This year we came back and won 4. Or we won 5 again. Hell, now I know we had one of the lowest your schedules of the year. You know, when you have a bad year, your schedule get easier. So how in the hell we ain't get no better? Something ain't right. Something ain't right.
Yeah, it's nothing worse than that 8-8. Then the next year we mess around and go 6-10. Then we go 7-9. Then we sneak a 5-11 in there. Then we get a 10-6, but we losing a wild card.
Yeah, that's why I always so pissed off at Jason Garrett so much. I'm like, man, we went through that shit for like 9 years in a row. Like, really?
He on the sideline like this.
Yeah, y'all tripping. Like, come on, man, what the fuck? Y'all tripping, man.
Hey, man, you know what? Let's talk about the best of the best right now. We went from the Lions to the best of the best. We got 3-0 teams left. We got 5 3-0 teams left. We got some Rams. We got some Panthers. We got some Horses. We got some Cardinals, and we got some Raiders. I'm going to ask y'all this straight up, man. Out of those 5 3-0 teams, who is the best 3-0 team in football right now? Block, what up?
Best 3-0. I mean, if I stick with the trend, I'm gonna stick with the Rams, but I like the Raiders. You know what I'm saying? I like what the Raiders got going on. I like the way that they have into the playoffs. I like the teams they probably gonna end up facing. I think the Rams are gonna be tested. If they don't get that #1 seed, it's gonna be hard for them to go on the road and make it out of the NFC West through that way. I think Carolina, you know, there's a lot of posts about who they have played. Same thing with Denver, as far as who they've played and who they've beat. I'm not sold on Sam Darnold. I think I like Arizona too. I like Arizona maybe more than the Rams, but I think if I look at talent, I think the Rams have probably out of the teams here one of the best quarterbacks out of these. They definitely have one of the best corners in Jalen Ramsey. Aaron Donald is the best defensive lineman out of any one of these teams. And I think offensively, Cooper Kupp is a handful. Robert Woods is a solid receiver. Deshaun Jackson looks healthy. He looks fast. I think the other day I turned on the game, he had like 3 catches for 150 yards or something wild like.
Yeah, I overthrown him like 2 times on 2 balls.
So I would say I'm gonna go with the Rams. As much as I hate to say it as a 49er fan, I think out of the 3-0 teams, I think the Rams are really doing what we expected them to do with Matthew Stafford at the helm of that offense.
You know that? What you know?
Man, they're gonna sound real funny. Y'all gonna think I'm really tripping, but I think Denver the best 3-0 team out of all them folks up there.
You ain't tripping. It's your opinion.
I swear, and the reason why I say that, because I like the Denver Broncos defense. The reason why I put them in front of the Rams and Arizona when it comes to the 3-0, because they got to play each other.
True.
Arizona and the Rams got to play each other. You know what I'm saying? I believe that'll be a split. You know what I'm saying? I believe that'll be a split. If Denver can get by Baltimore this week, like I believe they can, I believe Denver will be, out of all the teams that's up there, they'll be the last team standing with the undefeated thing. Not saying they're gonna go undefeated, but it's 5 teams left. My question is who gonna be there the longest? Who gonna be undefeated the longest? I say the Denver Broncos. I think the Raiders, they solid, but they're in the same team, they're in the same division as Denver. You know what I'm saying? I think Denver will beat them the first time they play them. You know, I like Denver run game. I like their defense right here, and it's hard to go down there in Denver and beat them when you can't breathe. So I think Denver the best team out of the one that's up there for right now.
Yeah,
I think Denver the best team. Carolina, they missing that boy they missing the boy McCaffrey. They missing. They gonna miss him.
They lost Horn. They lost J.C. Horn on defense too.
But they just replaced J.C. Horn with the boy C.J. Henderson from Jacksonville.
Yeah. But he was available for a reason. You know what I'm saying? Like
we don't know the reason though.
They traded him. He didn't want to play for them. He probably didn't want to play.
Oh well, I don't know.
I'm saying Carolina. I think that'll hurt them in the long run. Without the boy Carolina played the Dallas Cowboys this week, so they would get off this list. This would be a last.
Man,
I knew there was an ulterior motive there. He's saying it for the last sentence.
Yeah, right. He was setting the whole thing up. He was setting the whole soliloquy up for that, man.
You know what's going on,
hey, man, listen. I'm gonna tell y'all this, man. I'm gonna say it's Arizona, and I'm gonna say it's Arizona for a couple reasons. I think
I like them too.
Yeah.
This current team, this 2021 team reminds me a lot of that 13-3 team from 2015 that lost to Carolina in the NFC Championship, who eventually got bum rushed by Denver in the Super Bowl. I think, except the difference is this: I think this Carolina, I think this Arizona team has the potential to be way better than that Arizona team because I think they're more loaded at multiple positions. This receiving core on this 2021 team is better than that 2015 team with John Brown and those other guys that they had over there. Yeah, I think the secondary overall is
John
better.
Brown, they did that shit then.
Right. I think
he could left.
Shoot, we running the show now.
He just disappeared. I fuck with him on Arizona too, though.
I like Arizona.
Anyway, back to what I was saying. Yeah, I think Kyler Murray, even though Carson Palmer that 2015 had an MVP type caliber season, he still played terrible in the playoffs that year against Green Bay, and he threw 7 interceptions against Carolina in the NFC Championship. So I think Kyler Murray has the potential to be more dynamic and a bigger playmaker and a better player in the long run over Kyler. I think Arizona, and I was real critical. I was real critical, I think, before the season started of how Arizona's defense coordinator was going to use Zaven Collins and Isaiah Simmons together in the box within that 3-4. He's doing a hell of a job with them right now. I think J.J. Watt, he's getting a whole lot of hurries. He's not getting a lot of sacks, but he's making life a lot easier for Chandler Jones.
He's doing his job.
Yeah. And I think Byron Murphy, another guy who people slept on coming out last year. I think Byron Murphy's playing pretty well.
Nice call.
Yeah, I think Buda Baker gonna always be Buda. I think Isaiah Simmons looking like the player they envision him to be. And then I think when you look at the rest of those teams getting into, I think who's the worst, I got to go with the Raiders. And I'm gonna go with the Raiders for they don't have, to me, enough playmakers defensively, and I don't think they're good enough defensively as those other three teams. Not Denver, not Carolina, not the Rams, and I don't think they're better than Arizona defensively. I think the Raiders are kind of just they're taking advantage of the schedule right now. I don't think the Steelers are that good. That Steeler win doesn't look that good. The Dolphins are proven to not be as good as a lot of people thought they were going to be, so that win isn't looking as good. They had a last-second win, a heart-beating win against the Ravens. So I'm not sure how good the Raiders really are. And we saw the Raiders beat some bad teams last year. So I think, being honest, comparing the Raiders top to bottom to Denver and Arizona and Carolina and for surely the Rams, the Raiders have to be the worst to me out of those five teams that are currently 3-0.
I agree with you on that. I think the Raiders flexing anyway.
They flexing.
I think the question mark with Arizona is always going to be that dude on the sideline with the nice house that he showed off on draft day, right? Kingsbury, right? That's always the question about Arizona is is Kingsbury going to become a better coach, right? Because if we look at the rest of the coaches amongst these 3-0 teams, he's kind of the odd man out when it comes to consistency, making smart calls. I think he still struggles with time management.
He doesn't have any cachet. I mean, the other three coaches in his division all made Super Bowls.
Yeah.
So he got an uphill battle. Definitely. Oh, but finish the statement, Block. I ain't mean to cut you off.
That's it. Nah, that's it. Kingsbury, I agree with you with everything you said about Arizona. I think they're a very talented team. I think they got speed on offense. I think they got speed at the running back position. They got AJ Green. Yeah, they got playmakers. But it's in the playoffs, everybody got players, right? There's no 7, unless it's the NFC East. There's no 7 and 9 team in that when you start to get further. All those teams.
Don't do that.
All those teams are great. All the teams got blue chippers, and that's where it really comes down to coaching.
Games get tight,
right? Just like the NBA game, right? It really comes down to beating the team 7 times in a row. That comes with coaching, scheme, and I think it's going to be the same thing for Arizona. That's going to be their I guess you say Achilles heel is, will they be able to, when teams have a season worth of tape on them, when the other teams have corners that can cover their wide receivers, that can rush their passer, that can keep Kyler Murray contained, can they make enough plays to win the game? That's the key.
It's hard, man. I mean, when you look at how Kyler Murray, and it's only been 3 games, Kyler Murray looks like the freest I've seen him within that offense. And, within his first 3 years, man, I think his ability to shake loose whenever the hell he wants to. And it's not just that. It's the fact that he can throw the ball very well from the pocket, too. He throws that ball very well from the pocket.
His speed moves faster than everybody else on the field.
Exactly. He doesn't take big hits. He knows how to slide. The arm strength is there. The accuracy is there. The playmaking downfield is there. They're figuring out creative ways to run the ball. If James Conner can stay healthy, I think James Conner, in combined with Chase Edmonds, can give them enough in the running game, can help spell them enough with Kyler. And I think you look at the return game. They got Christian Kirk and Danny. Yeah, they got 2 dudes who can take it to the house. They got playmakers in the return game. They got playmakers in the secondary. They got playmakers in the front 7. They got AJ Green, who isn't nothing special at all anymore. but AJ can still catch the football out there.
He's good at number 2. He a damn sure good at number 2.
Number 2, number 3, Christian Kirk is a playmaker. So I think as long as Kyler stays healthy, if Arizona doesn't have any major issues, I think Arizona is better than all those teams. But so let me ask y'all this: who's the worst then?
I believe we all agree on the Raiders.
Sort of. I mean, so I think Carolina is gonna miss Christian McCaffrey more than maybe the Raiders are bad. Right, I think immediately you saw, even in the game, immediately you saw as soon as he went out, the offense was like, they scored all them points before he went out. So I think for me, it's between the Raiders and Carolina. I agree with all your points about the Raiders. I think the Raiders, yeah, I'm gonna stay with the Raiders. I'm gonna just stay with the Raiders because they the Raiders.
Yeah, I mean, if we look, think about it. If we look at Carolina though, like I feel kind of the same way about the Raiders. It's like when every time I see John Gruden on the sidelines, like I can't take him as anybody's head coach of 2021 seriously.
I just Crosby is coming on. Like Crosby is having an incredible season.
I like him.
Carl Nassib is having a great season. They even got Solomon Thomas looking like he might be all right.
Leatherwood's playing.
Yeah. Perryman at linebacker is like back from the dead. He's been in the league for like 20 years now. Abrams is still a hitter. So I like some of what Las Vegas has going on.
Yeah.
I think Carolina has. I like a little more, but again, I think they really gonna miss CMC, and I think it's gonna be a struggle for them without him on offense.
You don't think Chuba Hubbard can step in and get some 65-yard dashes on him?
No. 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 I don't think he's that kind of back. I mean, can he come in and
he was at Oklahoma State, but I mean, he looks a little more muscle bound now. Like he put on some weight.
And then, the jury's still out on Sam Darnold when again, with CMC going out, more of the pressure is going to be on him offensively to carry the team. Yes. Will he be able to do that? Will he be able to do that without that security blanket? They traded his security blanket to get Henderson, right? They traded Dan Arnold to get Henderson. So, what are they going to do at tight end?
But I think he was third string tight end, though.
Arnold? Yeah. He had a couple catches. He had a couple catches in the last game. I don't know if he's third string.
I don't think he's number 1 tight end.
No, he's not. But he was somebody Jacksonville wanted. You know. Man, it's weird, man. I look at it. Let me ask you this though. Denver. Let's talk about Denver for a second, real quick second. I understand Denver's playing in a tight AFC West right now, where the worst team in the division record-wise is
the Chiefs.
Right?
And the Chiefs a couple plays for being 0-3 in that Browns game. So it's crazy. It's crazy.
And the Chargers are about 5 different issues away from in the Cowboys game for being 3-0. But I like the Chargers, man. I like the way the Chargers offense looks. I like the way it looks this season, man. They still can't really run the ball for shit. But
I want to run the ball.
I think in a division with the Raiders and the the Raiders and the Chiefs and the Chargers, do we believe down the stretch? Because it's gonna come games where the running game ain't working. A team offensively may have Denver's number defensively, and you may need Teddy to go 25 for 36 for 275, maybe 2 touches, no turnovers. Can Teddy move the ball consistently enough through the air and get Denver out of some jams when they need it down the stretch?
I don't think he'll be able to do that on a consistent basis, but I believe they team good enough, scheme-wise, defensive-wise, and they coach is a hell of a defensive coach. They defense gonna keep them in games, and Teddy Bridgewater ain't gonna do nothing to hurt you. So if he don't do nothing to hurt you, and your defense keep you in game, they can get over the hump with it. I believe they can get them over the hump. Like I believe that defense can make Justin Herbert, what his name, make a mistake and cost him. I think that defense can make David Carr make a mistake and cost him. because they gonna play to their strength, passing the ball. They ain't gonna run the football. The Raiders don't want to run the football. What the name is? What the boy? Akers or whatever the little running back is for the Chargers. They don't want to run the football. They want to throw it, and that playing to the Denver Broncos' strength. So I believe that their defense gonna have them in a lot of games, and that will keep a lot of pressure off Teddy Bridgewater. But if they put the pressure on Teddy Bridgewater like that, he ain't gonna do that on a consistent basis. Hell no. So he gonna make the mistake.
But can y'all see Teddy? I'm not saying
like
Teddy got to do it every.
What you mean, one game? Can I see?
But let me ask you this: when was the last time we seen Teddy win a 35-31 game though?
I mean, Teddy. I mean, and I'm trying to think.
Before he hurt his knee in
Minnesota. Yeah, Minnesota.
Back then.
Yeah.
And then
when he was at Louisville. That's the last time we see.
Said then he ain't never been in that situation. Like when he played for Carolina, he got hurt with Carolina, didn't he?
He got hurt
with Carolina, didn't he? They got hurt with Carolina last year. He played them a 5 game with New Orleans. They won them 5 games. So I don't believe. But if you ask me for one game, can Teddy Bridgewater win a game for them? Yeah, I believe you can one game. But you can't. They're not gonna go that far with depending on him to do that. They got to play good defense and manage the game. That Teddy Bridgewater manage the game. He got to be the man.
Let me ask you this. I'm gonna put it straightforward to y'all then like this. Come playoff time, come January.
Who I want
in the AFC? Can Teddy go into Kansas City? Can Teddy go into Cleveland? Or even it's different.
He can beat Cleveland. You can beat Cleveland because they gonna play that slow play, that running game, and it's only gonna take 2 or 3 throws. You know what I'm saying, to win a game like that in Cleveland. I think.
What if you can't keep Myles Garrett off your ass though?
I mean, that's everybody. You know what I'm saying? Like that's a given. That's why I said 2 or 3 throws. The first 5 gonna be sacks.
The same way they gonna say about Baker Mayfield. You know, they got 2 folks coming to help, Chubb and Miller. So, but it to be real, I think Teddy Bridgewater can go there and win a game in both of what y'all talking about in Kansas City and in Cleveland. The reason why I say Kansas City. They got to still play the defense they've been playing these last 3 weeks. Denver come on there and run the ball straight down there like everybody else. And they defense can get it, Patrick Mahomes.
Yeah, and I think Denver. Yeah, I mean, Bradley Chubb out right now, but I think Denver got some guys. They got the corners too. I'm interested. I'm really interested.
They got the boy Melvin Gordon, and they got who the other running back is? The light skinned guy. I think his name Philip. I can't say his name.
Well, then Lindsey leave?
Nah, Lindsey went to Texas. He went to the Houston Texans.
Oh, okay. So they got Melvin Gordon and somebody else. I don't know who other person.
Yeah.
But Melvin Gordon, he know.
Now, Melvin Gordon having like a renaissance. He must have cut his hair or something, and now that boy fast again or something. I don't know what happened.
They signed it. I like them. I ain't gonna lie, I like them. I think
they got some receivers over there too. You know what I'm saying?
They gotta get them folk healthy now. Like they gotta go get that boy Rugg gotta be healthy. Courtland, he ain't nothing but the truth. They got that boy KJ. Somebody just got hurt.
KJ Hamler.
Yeah. The tight end solid. And so I think they can go. They can go to any one of them. They can go to Cleveland or Kansas City and get a win. I'll be more scared than Cleveland than Kansas City. The reason why, because Cleveland got a defense that can match Denver defense. Kansas City can't match Denver defense.
Mm-hmm.
We won't know until we see it. They got 2 games to play them though. But
we're gonna
my question is this:
we're gonna see that.
It's kind of like the situation. I mean, with Jimmy though, Jimmy Garoppolo with the 49ers. Like, okay, well, what do you do if you go to Kansas City or Kansas City comes into your place and you get Chief? Like, what if Kansas City mess around and get 21-0 on you?
You can cancel that ball game. You cancel that ball game.
I think
that's over with. But I don't see them doing like that. Their defense ain't the hell no. I don't see them doing that without their defense. Their defense pretty good. Their defense pretty good. That's what they got. Look, their defense pretty good. Especially you got to play them in Denver. It's hard to beat them in Denver. This week right here gonna tell you how serious Denver really is. Because I really think the way the Jaws just played, bottom up, Denver supposed to eat them folks. Denver supposed to eat them. In Denver,
Yeah,
with their defense, they supposed to eat them. They supposed to eat them.
Well, we're gonna find a little bit out because this weekend, you know, we got Arizona and the Rams getting it on this weekend.
Yeah.
That's gonna be a major game.
They're gonna let you know Arizona for real. They're gonna let you know Arizona for real.
It's gonna let you know if the Rams for real too.
If they lose, if they lose,
you know what? I take that back because it's a divisional game. Those two teams could very well split.
But the reason why I say that, because if let's say Arizona win their game, now they're gonna be up on the Rams now. The Rams got to try to catch you. Let's say the Rams win their game, Arizona they're gonna be up on you now. You got to catch them. So this is a crucial game for both of them. You don't want to be chasing nobody. You don't want to be chasing nobody, because now the next game you play them, it's a must win for you. You fuck around and lose that game, now you're through. You see what I'm saying? So these first match, that's same way like Seattle, San Francisco. But the winner of that game, the loser of that game might not make the playoff. It's a strong possibility. They're not gonna make the playoff. They're not gonna make the playoff. So, like the Rams, everybody say the Rams the butt nigga. They just beat the Super Bowl champion. You supposed to scrape your bid against Arizona, then you don't pull let Arizona beat you.
Yeah,
Arizona beat you. That means you ain't running that division like you kicking it you will. Arizona probably running that motherfucker.
I mean, they got two matchups to prove it. So
that first one be crucial though, because the next one might be week 11, week 12. Ain't no telling who you might see fold in. You might fuck around and lose another game fold in that can't excuse me game. You don't want to get that fall into a excuse me game. And that'll cost you. That'll cost you. So them first match, they just like the New Orleans, Carolina, when they played each other in the first game. Carolina won that game. The pressure on New Orleans now. They own New Orleans. The pressure on you. Carolina in front of you. You turn around and you lose to somebody else, and then you play Carolina, you down by 2 games or whatever. You can't catch them. You can't catch them. You got to take that heat that first matchup with the division. You got to take heat of that. Got to take heat of that.
Well, you know what? That's one big reason why I thought that San Francisco game Sunday had big implications, because if you look at that division, there's a good chance Green Bay is going to win the NFC North more than likely. But if you're San Francisco, you don't want to be out here dropping, too many games to teams within the NFC either. You can drop a game or two to the AFC teams, but you don't want to be dropping games to Arizona, and not necessarily Arizona, but you want to be dropping games to Green Bay or Dallas and, teams like that, Tampa. So,
because you don't see them one time.
Yeah, because like I said, man, come December, ain't gonna be no more resting players in week 16 and week 17. You're gonna have to play now.
Because it means
So, all right, fellas, man, I thoroughly enjoyed having y'all on again. And we also, I guess we're gonna be hooking up on Instagram Friday evening to cover and do a full, thorough overlook on the Rams and Cardinals matchup for this Sunday, which is pretty much the game of the week. Till then, stand up and stand out. See you next Tuesday.
Shaking it.
Yes, sir.